I'm Alex, a paranormal investigator from a small town in the mountains. I've always been fascinated by ghost stories and supernatural encounters. One stormy night, I decided to explore the infamous Raven's Peak, where many reported strange occurrences. As I drove up the winding road, my car's GPS led me astray. The storm raged on, with flashes of lightning illuminating the dark sky. I slowed down, trying to get my bearings. That's when I saw her, a young woman with piercing green eyes, soaked to the bone, standing on the side of the road. I slammed on the brakes, and the woman vanished into thin air. Shaken, I continued driving, wondering if I'd really seen her. As I stopped at a local diner to collect my thoughts, a stranger approached me. He introduced himself as Jake, a fellow paranormal investigator. Jake shared stories of Raven's Peak's dark history, tales of murders, accidents, and unexplained events. He warned me about the Vanishing Hitchhiker, a spirit said to appear to drivers, only to disappear. I realized that I might have encountered her. Jake and I decided to investigate Raven's Peak together. We equipped ourselves with ghost hunting gear, EMF meters, infrared cameras, and digital recorders. As we explored the abandoned buildings, we captured strange noises, unexplained movements, and eerie lights. We entered an old mansion where we found a room filled with antique dolls. Suddenly, one of the dolls started to move on its own. We heard whispers, faint at first, but growing louder. The words became clear. "Get out while you still can." We tried to communicate with the spirit, but it grew agitated. Doors slammed shut, and objects moved on their own. Jake and I realized we had to leave. Fast. As we turned to flee, the Vanishing Hitchhiker reappeared, her eyes blazing with a fierce warning. We sprinted back to our car, the spirit's presence closing in around us. As we sped away from Raven's Peak, the storm subsided, and an eerie calm fell over the landscape. Jake and I never spoke of that night again. But the experience left an indelible mark on me. I realized that some mysteries are better left unsolved. From that day on, I approached paranormal investigations with a newfound respect for the unknown. As for the Vanishing Hitchhiker, I've never seen her again, but I'll never forget the warning she gave me. Get out while you still can. Years later, I received a mysterious package with no return address. Inside, I found a newspaper clipping about a fatal car accident on Raven's Peak. The victim was a young woman with piercing green eyes. I realized that I had encountered her spirit that stormy night. The experience taught me that some secrets are meant to remain hidden, and that the supernatural can be both fascinating and terrifying. I was shaken by the newspaper clipping. Who sent it, and how did they know about my encounter with the Vanishing Hitchhiker? I decided to investigate further. I examined the package and found a small note with a cryptic message. "Meet me at Raven's Peak at midnight. Come alone." The note was unsigned, but I had a feeling that it was connected to the mysterious stranger, Jake. I couldn't resist the temptation to uncover the truth. At midnight, I returned to Raven's Peak, my heart racing with anticipation. As I arrived, I saw a figure waiting for me in the shadows. It was Jake. He revealed that he had been investigating the Vanishing Hitchhiker for years and had finally uncovered the truth. The hitchhiker was a spirit trapped between worlds, seeking help to resolve her unfinished business on Earth. Jake explained that the hitchhiker's name was Emily, and she had died in a car accident on Raven's Peak many years ago. Emily's spirit was trapped by a dark entity, a malevolent force that fed on her fear and energy. Jake and I decided to help Emily's spirit find peace. We performed a ritual to release her from the entity's grasp. As we did, the atmosphere around us shifted, and Emily's spirit began to glow with a soft, white light. With the entity's hold broken, Emily's spirit was finally free to move on. As we watched, she vanished into the light, leaving behind a sense of peace and closure. Jake and I parted ways, our lives forever changed by the experience. I realized that the supernatural was not just something to be feared, but also something to be understood and respected. As I drove away from Raven's Peak, I noticed something strange in my rearview mirror. The vanishing hitchhiker was gone, but in her place was a new figure. A woman with a warm smile, waving goodbye. I was taken aback by the new figure in my rearview mirror. Who was she, and why was she waving goodbye? I slammed on the brakes, and the figure vanished. I couldn't shake off the feeling that something strange was happening. I decided to investigate further and turned my car around, heading back to Raven's Peak. As I arrived at Raven's Peak, I saw the mysterious woman standing by the side of the road. She was dressed in a long coat, and her hair was blowing in the wind. She introduced herself as Sarah, a paranormal investigator who had been tracking the vanishing hitchhiker for years. Sarah revealed that she was the one who had sent me the mysterious package with the newspaper clipping. Sarah explained that the newspaper clipping contained a hidden message, a code that only a select few could decipher. The code revealed the location of a hidden journal belonging to Emily, the vanishing hitchhiker. Sarah and I decided to search for the journal, hoping to uncover the truth behind Emily's death and the mysterious forces at work on Raven's Peak. After hours of searching, we finally found the hidden journal. As we opened it, we discovered that Emily had been investigating a series of paranormal occurrences on Raven's Peak before her death. The journal revealed that Emily had uncovered a dark conspiracy involving a secret society that was using Raven's Peak for their nefarious activities. Sarah and I realized that we had stumbled upon something much bigger than we had initially thought. We decided to investigate the secret society, hoping to expose their activities and bring them to justice. As we delved deeper into the mystery, we encountered increasingly bizarre and terrifying occurrences. We began to suspect that the secret society was more powerful and sinister than we had ever imagined.